Hey, what's going on, guys? Oh, wow. That does not look crystal clear at all. But it's just a live stream. So, as the picture quality does not have to be the most high definition in the world, so it's fine. Guys, these live streams, you guys know, have been amazing. I absolutely love doing these weekly live streams with you. But I am contemplating potentially putting these live streams on a hold for a little while. So this may or may not be my last live stream for a while. I don't know. So I will obviously look at the numbers as this week, goes on, and I'll probably, you know, do my normal diligence and put a YouTube community note out, let you guys know if next week if there's going to be if there's not going to be a weekly live stream. If you don't see that community note, live stream, weekly live stream per usual. But if you do see that note, and I'll probably put on my Facebook page as well, then I'll probably put on hiatus. Oh, before we get into today's topic, there are a couple of special shout outs. Guys, I want to give a special shout out to Bucky749. Buddy, congratulations. Huge accomplishment today. I just found out that this man just hit 1,000 subscribers. Amazing. So Bucky and his brother, man, they have been on YouTube, I think, since like 2010, and absolutely amazing. I think they've got somewhere around 5,800 videos put on YouTube. Hit 1,000 subs today or yesterday even, and such a huge accomplishment. Can finally get monetized and get some money for the work that they put in. Amazing. Huge shout out to Bucky. And if you guys haven't gotten the opportunity, Bucky749, give his channel a little look. Subscribe if you can. Throw his videos some like. Give him some love. Also, guys, Kirk's Corner. This man reached over 1,000 subs months ago, but he still has not gotten monetized because he still hasn't gotten the watch hours. Kirk's Corner, if you guys are vintage, you guys like my channel, watch his videos, subscribe to his channel, watch his videos, put that stuff on repeat if you have to. Let's help him get monetized as well. It's pretty amazing what he does as well on his account. So, but there are a lot of smaller YouTube channels that I feel like like my channel. A lot of these smaller channels who do absolutely amazing work, and it's like, why do they not get the view count or the subscriber count that they deserve? Chaos Collectibles, absolutely amazing what he does. Chad with his Remco collection, and it's not so much Remco's, but the Remco style of collection that he does with his customs and whatnot. It's a different collection that what a lot of the other stuff that I follow. So I think that stuff is pretty amazing. I think he's hovering around somewhere around 400, 450, 500 subs. So that's pretty awesome. If you like the magazine reviews that I make, Jammer's magazine wrestling collection. I mean, that stuff is spot on. One of the best magazine collections I've seen. So that right there is obviously someone I highly recommend. One of my favorite channels to check out. Bone breaking action. I mean, it is an absolute atrocity that this man is hovering around 300 subscribers. What he does with his Hasbros, stop motion action, I think it's called, with his Hasbros and bringing them to life to make these movie-esque, fight scenes and everything. Why this man is not literally at tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers, is a darn shame. Bone breaking action. You can type into the search bar. His stuff should come up. Subscribe. Let's get that man to 1,000 immediately. He deserves it. So, again, special shout out to Bucky749 for getting to 1,000. Amazing. Let's get some of these other guys to 1,000. If they're already at 1,000, like Kirk, let's get him the view hours that he needs so that he can get monetized. All right. So initially, I wasn't going to actually have a title for or a topic of discussion for today, but last minute or about a few hours ago, I decided I did have a topic that was close to my heart, so to speak, that I did want to talk about. eBay. Why? Because eBay is such a huge and important topic on YouTube. There are plenty of content creators on YouTube who basically their entire channel is talking about eBay, either selling on eBay, talking about algorithm of eBay, what you need to do on eBay to be a better seller, how sellers sell hundreds of thousands of dollars per month or per year on eBay, how they sell clothes and shoes and yada yada yada. I'm like, I don't do all that, but I have made a ton of videos in reference to eBay and what have you. Um, Obviously, I don't have the greatest selling history when it comes to eBay, and I kind of make my videos here. Oh shoot! This freaking ice just exploded in my face. um, or was I? But there was something different that I started doing last night, and I kind of carried it over to my second eBay account this morning. So, if you read the title, it's kind of what I'm going to start doing from this point forward. On all of my listings, to try and make things easier, I started putting all my listings like months and months and months ago. I changed everything to auction because I kind of felt like when people see, buy it now, they want to look at eBay as an auction site, right? And if you look at something as a buy it now, it's always going to be there. But mindset, buy it now, it's up there for 30 days, it doesn't sell, it renews, bam, it's up there for 30 days. It's always going to be there unless, somebody does the buy it now and purchase it. But if it doesn't sell, it's always going to be there. But auctions for 7 days. If it doesn't sell, it renews another 7 days, etc. But still, it puts the pressure on the buyer. For the buyers, they're going to look at it. They're going to think, okay, bam, I got 7 days to make a determination if I want this item. So 30-day buy it now, 7-day auction. That's why I kind of decided I wanted to change all of my listings from buy it now to auction style. Now, and additionally, if I'm selling slippers, let's say, if I'm selling a pair of slippers and I want to get $10 for it, if I put it in an auction for $10, it sells for one bid, I get $10, great. Buy it now, $10, okay. But on auction, maybe I get a few bids and maybe it sells for $14. So on auction, I get more money than I would have gotten as a buy it now, right? So that's another reason I like auction. With the whole goal that maybe it might get additional bids than just one simple bid. Here's the problem with my two accounts. I feel like probably 60 to 80%. Now, I haven't gone through, I haven't exactly sit there and counted out all the numbers, but this is just kind of my feeling because it is so abundant and it's so infuriating. I feel like almost every single person that bids on my items don't ever pay. I've talked about this numerous occasions. Whenever I buy something, Auction ends, bam, I pay immediately. Unless I'm bidding on multiple items. If an auction ends, bam, I reach out to the seller. Hey, I'm bidding on I won this item, but I'm actively bidding on other auctions. Can we wait to can I wait to pay out for this item until the rest of the auctions have ended to see if I win any other items? Simple. I reach out to the seller, I let them know what's going on so that they understand, hey, why I'm not paying for this item immediately. Easy. But with my buyers, they don't do that. Nobody ever reaches out to me. And with me, I don't want to harass my buyers. So a day passes, I don't bother them. 2 days passes, I don't bother them. 3 days, 4 days, most of the time I do not bother them. But by the time the 4th day rolls around, obviously I'm nervous as hell. I haven't heard from anybody. I'll reach out, hey, you won this on auction 4 days ago, friendly reminder, please make a payment, something to that effect. I don't know what I write, but this has happened so many times that nowadays I don't wait 4 days. Now I'm probably responding within about 2 days, 3 days. I might send a message on day 2, maybe again on day 4, day 5. By day 6, I'm like, I'm not even waiting 7 days, 10 days anymore to cancel. I'm probably canceling on day 6 because this is so infuriating. And today's asshole, what was his name? FC Engine Parts. I think the guy's name was Franklin Martinez or something like that. FC Engine Parts on eBay. I looked at his feedback. As a seller, he is an absolutely horrific seller. Over almost 24 negative feedbacks. Neutral feedback skyrocketed. So, and I'm looking through his feedback rating as a seller. And like I said, terrible seller. Takes a million years to ship the items, ships wrong items, bad communication. When he does respond to buyers, piss poor attitude, just an overall horrible seller. He has like because he sells so many items, he has a massive amount of feedback rating for negative feedback. Just shows how bad of a seller he is, right? And I know exactly why people are doing this. And I've talked about it plenty. eBay does not allow sellers to leave negative feedback for buyers. So when a guy like this buys from me, a guy that does not sell a lot of on eBay, oh, here's a random listing that doesn't get any views on eBay. Bid. Only bidder, bam, he wins. I send a bunch of messages over the course of a week. He doesn't have to respond ever. If I leave him negative feedback, how do I leave that negative feedback? With a positive feedback, but I leave in the comments negative, and then comments about what happened with that transaction, right? But it still shows up as positive feedback in his rating. When you've got like a 95% feedback rating, I learned this from my buddy Kirk. So when you have a feedback rating, below a certain percentile, I think like 97 or 98%, eBay takes out an additional selling fee from you when your feedback rating is low. So how do you build up your feedback rating? Exactly what these scammers are doing to me. They're bidding on the stuff to win, but they're not paying. They're not responding to my messages. They have absolutely no intention on ever buying from me. They just want me to leave that feedback so that they can build up their feedback score. And this is one of the reasons why I think they're doing that, so that they can get their feedback rating high, so that they can lose that extra selling fee, among other reasons. And until freaking eBay gets off their ass and actually learns from this or bans these sellers, this crap is going to keep happening. So now, as a seller, One of the things I absolutely hate as a buyer is people that have request or require immediate payment. Because let's say you are a seller, and okay, let's say you're selling Hasbro's, and I'm bidding on 10 Hasbro figures that you have on auction, and I win 10 Hasbro figures you have on auction, and you require immediate payment for all 10 items. So let's say shipping is $5 per action figure. I win all 10 items. That's $50 in shipping I just paid on those 10 listings. Instead of waiting till the listing ends and then request an invoice, right? You box all of them up. Maybe that shipping invoice is like $8 to $10. But now, because I keep running into these scammers, every single time I make a sale, I'm not really making a sale because nobody's ever buying. So as a seller, I am just furious. So I had to go through all of my listings on both of my accounts, change the auction. So all of my auctions were auction or best offer. And I every time I talk about eBay, I always talk about the exact same thing, right? Uh, if I have a auction where auction is starting bid of $17 or best offer, and I just list the item, 2 minutes later, you come in with an offer of $17, the starting bid price, there's a good chance I'm going to accept the offer. If I have a starting bid price of $30 and I think that item could sell for 60, but I just listed it 2 minutes ago, and you come in with an offer of $30, there's a good chance I can, I'll accept that offer, because I'd rather take a guaranteed sale than, risk it not selling at all. Or somebody else coming in with an offer later on for like $15 or $20 when that starting bid price is 30. And I hate that. Like if I list something for $45 and someone comes in with an offer of 30, it's like, dude, I have a starting bid of 45. Can you at least meet me at the starting bid price? I have a starting bid price for a reason, right? Because that's the minimum I want. But so I always have starting bid price or best offer, but I had to change everything. So now all of my listings are starting bid price, buy it now price, require immediate payment. But there's more to it. Oh yeah, this live stream, this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be an eBay centered video, but it's going to be a fun one, especially when I get drunk. It's going to be a fun one, especially when I start being difficult. Check this out. So I am starting to require immediate payment on all of my sales, right? So now when somebody places a bid, it's going to pop up, immediate payment required. It's going to ask for bank information because that's how it works. And you have to approve it, yes, to place bid. So if something like this happens where, somebody reaches out to me after the auction ends, after they saw that, after they accepted, after they placed the bid, if they win the auction, they win, they have to pay for the item or whatever, or they're automatically billed, and the buyer reaches out to me and says, hey, I won this item. I'm no longer interested. Can you please cancel? What am I going to do? I've thought about this. And I've thought about this a lot. there's about 1 million eBay sellers that do the right thing on a consistent basis. And we do the right thing over and over again, and constantly get taken advantage of. eBay allows these darn scammers to get away with all of this BS and does nothing to protect the sellers that do the right thing. Like if I sell a pair of pants, right, brand new with tag, as an example, and I sell it to a buyer. Buyer looks over, says, "Hey, I don't want these, wrong size, whatever." Sends them back to me. I can get the pair of pants in. Like I could have a dark pair of pants, and he could send me like very light blue pair of pants with big giant holes in them. Clearly, nowhere even remotely close. Not the same brand, same color, same condition, nothing. eBay will 100% reimburse the buyer, take the funds out of my account, and I am forced to keep the pants that the buyer sent back to me, right? That's buyer protection, but no seller protection. So if something like that happens where, I require immediate payment, buyer agrees, and then they reach out to me afterwards and say, "Hey, I want to cancel this order," before I shipped anything out. Am I going to do the right thing? No, I don't think I will. In fact, I think I'm going to be a petty son of a gun. And I think if they have the audacity to do that to me, after they see that message that says, "Do you accept immediate payment if you place this bid?" Knowing that I require immediate payment, if you have the audacity to bid on this, which is a darn contract, by placing this bid and saying that you want this item, win this item, and don't have the adult and common courtesy to pay for this item if you win, not only will I freaking force you to take this item, but I think, you know what? Not only will I decline your request to cancel, but I feel like you're going to give me negative feedback regardless. So I'm probably going to go outside and fill your box with a box of rocks and send that to your ass. You're probably going to give me negative feedback anyways. And if you're going to give me negative feedback, you're probably going to send me back the wrong item. So, and eBay is probably going to reimburse you either way. So why would I send you the right item, have eBay reimburse you, and get the wrong item back? So wrong item, lose profit, and receive negative feedback. So yeah, if that happens, I'm probably going to send you a box of rocks. So I would say don't freaking do it. Do not try and screw me over and say, "Hey, I don't want this," and request cancellation, because that's bullshit. And no, I don't feel like I'm being petty, because I've been screwed over 100 million times. If I could literally go back through my eBay sales over the last 3 years, almost 4 years now. So I started selling my MatWatt 6. I started selling in August of 21. So almost 4 years I've had that account. 600 sales, 700 sales. I don't know. I would say good half of them. I mean, especially over the last year and a half, especially, I feel like 75 to 80% at least are, every time I make a sale, is non-payers. So why should I cave into that? So yes, they these scammers forced me to alter the way that I have to sell on eBay. And now, instead of allowing buyers the opportunity to pay at their own leisure. I am forced to require immediate payment on all of my listings. I am forced to alter the way that I want my listing set up because I don't want a buy it now price on all of my listings. If I'm selling a Mark Merrow mint on card grapplers and gimmicks figure, I don't want a $42 starting bid price with a $55 buy it now. What I want is a $50 starting bid price or a buy it or a best offer. So if somebody wants to come in with like a $45 offer, I'm comfortable with, I can accept that. I may not want $42, but I'm comfortable at 45. And I know that's not going to sell for no $55. So you might think, okay, that's only $3, but I'm a reseller, right? And eBay fees. I don't want to take a loss. And when you're a reseller, I've said a million times, at the very least, as long as you don't take a loss, the goal is to earn a profit so that you can buy new things and bring more inventory in for resale purposes. But if you're taking a loss, you're failing at that. You're failing in your business. And reselling is supposed to be a business for me. And I think a lot of people, when they make offers from my eBay, they don't realize that this is supposed to be a business for me. And like when I have something listed for $60, when everyone else on eBay is listing that same item for $80 to $120, and I literally have the only other item on eBay that's less than $80, and I have the cheapest item in comparison, and you're coming at me at $40. Frustrating. And I kind of screwed on that particular example. I kind of screwed myself because even though I had a starting bid price of $60, I kind of countered at $52 when they came out offered 40. And even then, the guy countered again at $48, and I kind of looked it up. And I'm like, yeah, I looked all over place, Etsy, Mercari, eBay, and like this figure, everyone that's selling it online, $80 to $120. I was the only one that had it for $60. So which was already a fantastic price. So, but because and then he came back at my asking price of $52, I'm like, son of a gun. What do I do? I already given him an offer of $52. If I decline his offer of $52, am I an asshole? Because that was my offer to him. So if I say no, I'm backtracking on my own personal offer. So I had to accept, right? To me, it was the right thing to do. So plus that I had that item for what, like 6 months or something, and or 4 months, 4 months, 6 months, something like that. So I mean, it wasn't selling, and I kind of feel like that particular figure was going to be worth a whole lot of money in the future. So I didn't want to sell it for lower, but I needed it gone. I needed the space. I needed to clear that particular item off of my inventory list. I'd rather have 79 items listed on my eBay, right, than 80 items listed on my eBay or what have you. Or what did I have it listed on? I think I had it listed on my Watty's channel account, not my Matt Watt 6, but anyways. So I think that's what I'm going to go back to. I think I'm going to go back to kind of calling out these guys on my eBay, these non-payers, because I think the only way to freaking get around this stuff is to start publicly shaming these assholes. I think you have to. I mean, if I'm not doing it, then who else? Who else is going to? I mean, eBay is not doing their job. I mean, you think they'd want to? They want to ban these guys that aren't living up to expectations and that are basically screwing their company out of their own funds, right? Because if I'm not making the sale, eBay is not getting their percentage out of that sale, but it's not happening. Um, yeah, that's my eBay rant, I guess. 30 minutes in, I think that was a good rant. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I freaking live on these last 3 or 4 years. I freaking lived on eBay. I could literally sit here for 12 hours a day, every single day of the week, and rant about eBay, about something that happens on eBay. Uh, it's a never-ending story. Pull up a chair. Let's chat. But all right. Other than that, guys. Oh, I've been kind of mentioning it in my video game review videos or playthrough videos. I am starting to kind of build up my NES and Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis type inventory a little bit. So, inventory, catalog, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to add new content to the channel, right? And I'm not so much into collecting figures anymore. Not so much anymore. Uh, but video games, man. Like, I'm not really a gamer. I've never really been into video games, but it seems like the video games are something that a lot of people are enjoying. And even though I freaking suck at playing these video games, um, I'm getting a lot of enjoyment from playing them and making the videos, and it looks like a lot of people are getting a kick out of them as well. So, brought in a lot of new subscribers from said video game playthroughs. So, I would like to kind of continue, adding new videos to the roster, adding new videos to the channel playlist. So, other than that, the pool vlog videos are kind of like at a standstill right now because they want something called a plat of survey, which I have no idea what that is. Apparently, we were supposed to have that when we moved into the house, but not every homeowner gets that when they purchase the home. And kayak pools, they need that in order to actually do the layout of the new pool, and they still need the permit and everything before installation. All that can begin, but the whole pool, that stuff isn't even going to begin until the permits is complete, and that stuff's not going to begin until the summertime starts off. So, but I'll still make videos and stuff of that stuff as it progresses. My next focus is the garage. The garage is a hot mess. I've been making a million purchases lately. Like I said, I've been running out of boxes for shipping and whatnot. Ever since I started going to the different bin stores and whatnot, and listing a bunch of new stuff on eBay, I've been running out of boxes. So where do I get my boxes from? eBay, Amazon, etc. So now I'm stockpiled on boxes. So I got to go through Closets by Design, and I'm thinking about redoing some of the stuff in the garage, especially in that back corner where it's just looks tacky. I don't like that little corner setup. So I want to get in my storage room. Those white shelving and whatnot. Those are all brand new. Closets by Design. They came in and they they built those white closets in my in my uh, in my basement, right? That white shelving area. If you look at my very early videos, that big old white shelf was not part of the basement. We had that built in as well in the garage, that big old white shelf that wasn't there before. So I want to have something like that built on, probably like a whole L shape around the whole area. But I also have Tom Drexler coming in and probably doing what they did in the basement with the recessed lights. I'm gonna have them do that in the storage room. I'm gonna have them do that in the garage as well. I'm gonna have that damn garage lit up. So, hey, what's going on, Stone Cold? Hey, thanks so much, man. To my Irish fella, what's going on, bro? Mm. To the Irish Rebel, the second greatest name on the planet, only behind the foul-mouthed drunkard. But if you ever go out of business, buddy, you got to give me the Irish Rebel name. Absolutely love that one. Nah, buddy, you're awesome too. Mm. But damn, oh shoot, you know, I was watching this YouTube video, right, of Smokey, and Smokey likes to always make these videos about Nova Online, and it got me thinking today. I don't watch TikTok. I don't watch Nova Online on TikTok, but one of the things that, and the only reason I know about Nova Online, Jack Doherty, all of these TikTokers and whatnot, the only reason I know about them is because, like, the Hodge twins, or I don't know, like Pegasus or August the Duck or Xenashot, guys like that, right? I watch their channels and they always make videos about these guys. And so, like Neon, Jack Doherty, and Nova Online, or Timachu, Pikachu. I don't know what the hell her name is, but all these freaking random people on TikTok are like super freaking TikTok famous for whatever reason. But Nova Online, that kid had that damn kid. He's not screwed up like Jack Doherty, but he has his freaking issues. But the one thing I feel bad about, like every time I watch like I watch one of Smokey's videos, or someone that's kind of like commentating on, that's making like a Nova Online video. That kid, like every time his TikTok is nothing but like food reviews. But that's just because that's him going to like Wingstop or McDonald's or something, and he's hungry, he wants to eat, and hey, I want to make a video, so hey, here's me eating. Literally, that's all his video is. So I'm hungry, I'm going to McDonald's, I'm getting me a Big Mac. Hey, this is a good time to film a TikTok. Let me review this Big Mac and post it on TikTok for views. So they're kind of correct. They're kind of making fun of that, and I kind of looking at that. I'm like, damn, dude. It got me wondering if, like, when people watch my videos and they watch me drinking, I'm like, is that any comparison whatsoever? Do people kind of look at me drinking this and think of me the same way as Nova Online? Like me watching Nova Online eat his damn chicken wings or his Del Tacos the same damn way. I hope not, because damn, that's going to change the way that I do my Saturday weekly live streams because it's the only time I get to drink. I mean, I'm a big boy, okay? I'm a big boy, okay? But um I don't drink. But the only time I want to drink is online with you guys for my weekly live streams because it seems like the only time that's really fun and enjoyable. Enjoyable. So I can't stand Paul. Yeah, Logan Paul, man. But either of the Paul brothers. Who would not Logan? Was it Logan Paul or Jake Paul? I think it was Logan Paul. The guy that was trying to sue what the hell is his name? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. The crypto guy. I forget his name, but they call me the potty mouth stoner. Hey Rod, man, that's funny as hell. the potty mouth stoner. Hey Rod, I'm telling you, bud, you, me, and Kirk, I will pay for the tickets, man. We don't even have to meet up at your house, man. We could like go to a restaurant or hotel or something, man. We should all freaking do a damn live stream from like Aurora or something. Oh, not Aurora. What's that damn place we were talking about the other day? Uh, that restaurant. That Trey and that Trey Parker and Matt Stone own. I forget the damn restaurant's name, but we need to go to that damn place. That's up in Denver. I think it's located. Casa Bonita. Thank you. Yeah, I never would freaking remember that name. I need to go there. The damn clip diver. This sucks. I'm almost out of drink. And you know, if I'm out of drink, then I have to end my live stream because it's not fun if I don't have a drink to. If I don't have a drink, I might have to text the wife to bring me another drink. But 42 minutes, man. I don't know if I want to stop at 42 minutes. At least go an hour, right? I'm gonna text the wife and see if she could bring me like some vodka or something. Hold on a sec. Yeah, text the wife because I want to at least go to an hour, but yeah, I'm out of drink right now. Hey, Stone Cold, thanks, buddy. Del Gigante WC Customs video earlier. Hey, thanks, man. Smoke break was over. Oh, man. Hey, baby A. All right, bud. I'll talk to you later, man. Yeah, shoot, that, when I talked to Net, maybe, I keep thinking it was 2024, but I don't think it was 2024. I literally think it was back in like May of 23 when I first asked her about that figure. Like I was back, I think it was Brian Pillman, and I think it was that El Gigante figure I was asking her about. And she was like, yeah, you know, her brother was like a huge Brian Pillman fan, and like it was on the way. I'm like, heck yeah. But it was like over a year before we finally got the Brian Pillman. And I'm like, nah. But Brian Pillman was freaking awesome. I love the Brian Pillman because that's actually one of the figures that I had from childhood. So that meant the world, getting that one in. And most figures with like the hands up, and I don't like, like Sting. I didn't have Sting as a kid, so like this right here didn't mean anything to me from childhood, right? Um, when I look at like Macho Man, or when I look at like the when I look at Haku and those characters with the hands up, I don't like them. But like Brian Pillman, because I actually had the Brian Pillman, I love that figure. I still think that's one of the best Galoobs out there, and getting him as a Galoob 2-up was amazing. So one of the things I do give Ram Treasures a lot of credit for, oh, excuse me, with their Galoob 2-up line, like Ron Simmons. I hate Ron Simmons. Let me backtrack. I hate the Ron Simmons Galoob action figure. Ron Simmons himself, I mean, I don't think I ever watched him wrestle. And later on, as Farouk, I mean, I wasn't familiar with him as well because I think that was later on in wrestling for me. So like I wasn't watching wrestling during that era. So, but the Ron Simmons, uh, come in, but like hey babe, thank you, love you. But
I forgot to get ice. I'm sorry.
You're good. Thank you. The Ron Simmons action figure itself was like one of the worst wrestling figures ever. I despise that figure so much. But it was a childhood figure, right? It was one that you were forced to play with when you were a kid. But Random Treasures, I knew it was coming. I think Butch Reed, if I'm not mistaken, came out before Ron Simmons in the Galoob 2-up line. And yeah, I'm almost positive Butch Reed came out first. So I knew Ron Simmons was coming eventually. Now, when Ron Simmons came up as a Galoob 2-up, and I looked at the LJN rubber figure, like it meant a lot to me. In 8-inch format, oh, excuse me, I almost got puke. in 8-inch format, in rubber format, there's a huge difference than a 4-inch hard rubber, hard plastic form that the regular WCW figure was. So, like, I really like the Ron Simmons LJN, but I don't like the regular 4-inch WCW figure. So, if that makes sense. So, when it comes to Ram Treasures, creating WCW Galoob figures as 2-ups, I think that was one of the greatest ideas that they could have ever come up with. And I can't wait until they come out with all of the other Series 2 UK exclusives. The Freebirds, I'm dying for those. I'm hoping that it's not going to be 2, 3, 4 years down the roads. Down the road. The Freebirds, I'm looking forward to. Dustin Rhodes, I really hope is soon. Big Josh, I am hoping is soon. Again, I don't want these figures to be 4, 5, 6 years down the road. I want them to be immediate. I want them to be in the next couple of years. I know that she has other ideas and that she has other characters that she wants to come out with, but if she can like mainly focus on the WCW Galoobs, she's got a whole generation of fans that will line up to buy those characters, to buy those figures. And she's not just looking at US buyers. She is looking at UK buyers. She is looking at Australian buyers, New Zealand. Okay, she's got people all over the world that would buy UK based characters and figures in LJN format. So I'm I would hope that she would buy she would create those sooner rather than later. Uh, I'm gonna read some of these comments. U.S. release of the Steiner Brothers better or the UK exclusive release of the Steiner Brothers? So I had obviously the UK or the US version, but because the UK is different and I would say I like the color, especially a Rick Steiner with the lime green. I like the color better, so I like the UK much better. It's more pop, it's more eye popping, but I don't recognize that color. So, but in preference, UK all day long. Let's see. Undertaker fan for years, absolutely. I mean, I still say Undertaker is probably like my what number 5 or number 6 favorite wrestler ever. Um, I mean, my top 3 will always be the same, no matter what. When it comes to wrestling, Hogan, Warrior, Macho Man. I mean, to me, that's never going to change. That is my top 3 from childhood. That to me will be a non-starter. Those will always be my favorite wrestlers forever from this point, or from childhood forever. I mean, will my next set of wrestlers will that ever change? Probably not. Uh, Number 4, 5, 6, I think will also be non-starters. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. I think my top 6 are pretty much set in stone. 7 through 10 is questionable. I mean, 7 through 10 is any order. I mean, I really don't have a preference. Like 7 through 10, I could say Roddy Piper is in the top 10. I could say Teddy DiBiase probably is in the top 10. British Bulldog is in the top 10. So 7, 8, 9. And number 10 might be British Bulldog. I'd probably put number 7. I'd probably put Piper number 8. If Jim Duggan, or I'd probably put Teddy DiBiase number 9. Number 10, I don't know. Maybe Marty Jannetty number 10. Possibly. More than likely, Marty Jannetty would probably be number 10. I mean, Earthquake could probably be number 10, but I'd probably put Jannetty at number 10. Let's see. Net store used to be in my neighborhood, so I knew Net. Bought from her when she had her first store. Then she started custom jeans. That's cool. Yeah, I know my buddy Kirk. He used to go into her shop every now and then. One of the things that he mentioned to me is that she really didn't plenish new stock. I think her main focus was her LJN collection, and I think I think if she really focused, like if she built her store around her custom LJNs with new and vintage collectibles here and there. I mean, I think her store could have done, so and so. I don't know. I've never been to Maryland. I've never been to Rosedale. I don't think I would ever go to Maryland outside of maybe visiting like my friends that are up in the Maryland area, but it's possible. Like, visiting Ram Treasures, the storefront, would have been something I would have had interest in. And if I was ever in Maryland, that definitely would have been like a highlight for me, would have been visiting Random Treasures directly. So I can't say I never would have been up there. It's possible. But now that she's simply focusing on her Etsy store, now she could simply focus on her main passion, which I think are the actual LGN customs. But I think that's I don't know. I wasn't there. I've never been to a store, so I can't speak on it directly. Only hearsay. But if that's one of the reasons why they went out of business is because they weren't able to keep up with inventory. I don't know. But since the pandemic, I mean, how long has Random Treasures been in business? I'm not familiar with the longevity of the business, so I can't speak on it. But since the pandemic in the 2020, a lot of businesses have been shutting down. A lot of vintage toy stores. So how easy would it have been to add in new inventory and whatnot? There's a toy store that I buy from a lot, Kokomo Toys. They're located in Indiana, and they're relatively close. They're in Indiana. I'm in Kentucky, so I might drive up there one day. But so that'd be like what, like an hour and a half drive. Plus, there's a not Hulu. What channel is it? Is it Amazon? It's not Hulu. It might be Amazon, but it's one of those streaming services where Kokomo Toys actually has a episode where it's like the Toys That Made Us kind of deal, where they have like different toy stores, famous toy stores that have like their own little special episode on there, which I think is pretty cool. Remember spending 2 hours, guys. The limit after the ladies, you could do independent wrestlers or celebrities that were, then do other actors. Matt Cardona with Rambo. You know what? I just bought Rambo and the kickboxer Jean Claude Van Damme. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy those two figures. I bought them only because they were big rubber guys, and I think I only bought one version. Normally with big rubber guys, I always buy two copies. I buy one to keep in the package. I buy one to open up, put on my shelf. But I think I only bought one. I might go back and buy another one at some point. Now, Jean Claude Van Damme in the 80s had some of the best movies. When it comes to Bloodsport and Kickboxer, two of the best freaking Jean Claude Van Damme movies ever. Absolutely love those freaking movies, okay? And they're so when Zombie Sailors came out with a Bloodsport Jean Claude Van Damme movie figure, I was actually contemplating buying that figure, and I think they came out with like a Tong Po action figure as well. But I'm just not a fan of Zombie Sailors anymore. And I go back and I look at all of my old videos of Zombie Sailors, and I was such a huge fan of Zombie Sailors for such a long time. And even when I was starting to like deplete in feelings of that company, when I was like, mm, maybe their figures aren't as good as I used to give them credit for, I was still raving about them because I had been raving about them for such a long time, and I was still giving them credit for such a long time. I just their their stuff over the last year or two have just gone downhill significantly, and now I've gone from like a huge Zombie Sailor supporter to being like one of the most vocal vocal Zombie Sailors just needs to just go away. Their action figures are just horrible. And the thing about their team is whenever you criticize their action figures, like if you reach out to them directly and be like, "Hey, man, I have recommendations for improvement," or "Hey, I don't like this about this or that or the other," you're blocked. Like they will not listen to customer feedback whatsoever, and they are just such a piss poor company, and it's so frustrating. I'm like, how do you create piss poor product after piss poor product and not listen to the customers who actually buy your product? And no, but the thing of Big Rubber, guys, I am crazy excited to look at what they come out with their kickboxer, because yeah, I'm really hoping that their stuff is really amazing, because if they come out with more options, that's something I'm eager for. It's not wrestling related, but hey, it doesn't have to be. It's 80s. It's venturing into the 80s further, action movies. So they got Rambo, I think they got Bloodsport or Kickboxer, and I don't know, Predator possibly. I could see like a Arnold Schwarzenegger figure coming in the near future, or something like that. Maybe that would be pretty awesome, or Rocky Balboa or something like that in the near future. Why not? So that would be pretty awesome. Continuing on with the 80s with additional big rubber guy type figures. It doesn't have to be wrestling related. Hey, get yourself a Thunder Lips big rubber guys figure. I mean, I think that would be pretty awesome. Let's keep reading. What else we got here? Mm. Hey, Rick, what's happening, buddy? I'm doing okay, bud. Oh, she had a couple of stories, did she? Really? Nice. Mm. Yeah, a couple of guys have asked me if I wanted to open up my own personal store myself. Like people see my collection downstairs and like, hey, do you want to open up your own, brick and mortar store? But I'm like, but that's the thing though. That stuff downstairs, that's personal collection. That's not brick and mortar stuff that I want to sell. Now, yes, I could create more inventory, but where do I buy my stuff? I buy my stuff off eBay, right? I pay eBay prices. I don't know where to go to buy these action figures from, like local sellers. Like I can't go next door to like a yard sale and buy a Hasbro Hacksaw Jim Duggan Series 9 with original, flag. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, $20, $20 to $40 figure with original flag that's worth like another $100, and put that in my store for $125 and pay only a dollar for it. That's not possible. Where am I buying it? I'm buying it off eBay, and what am I paying for it? I'm paying $125 for that figure. So I can't do that stuff, right? So it's not possible for me to open up an actual physical store. So if I open up a store, what am I paying? Probably another $3,000 to $6,000 for a store, electricity and everything. Probably another couple $1,000. Then I gotta buy shelving and everything. To buy shelves, glass display cases. Let's say investment, another 10 grand. Computer setup and everything. Computers. Let's say another $3,000 to $5,000. Investment all in all, just for the first month, probably close to $20,000, I would say. Let's say inventory included. Let's say all in for the first month, 20 grand. And then every month I would have to keep buying, and you know would people come into the store and actually pay my prices? I don't think so. Like I said, if I paid $125 for that Jim Duggan, would I be able to sell it for 150? And then sales taxes, right? Yeah, they're paying sales taxes, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that I would have to pay as a seller, to the state of Kentucky. So how does that factor in? That's if I sell it for 150, that's not 50. That's not $25 profit to the state of Kentucky, 8%. So you got to think about all of that. So it just wouldn't be feasible for me to open up a brick and mortar store. Now, if I were to actually open up a business out of my actual garage, now I did say that I'm kind of creating. Now I'm creating additional lights in my garage, right? So, Tom Drexler came in. What was it? 2 days ago, and they quoted me about $4,300, $4,300. And that was to put new recessed lights in the garage and the storage room. Now, when I do my walkthrough for probably in June, I'm probably going to do another full 100% yearly walkthrough of all my collection. And that storage room will be 100% lit up so that you guys can see everything, right? So for the store, yeah, I've said that the garage is basically going to be kind of like my warehouse of sorts. So maybe, but I can't operate out of my garage in an official capacity. I mean, for my Mercari and eBay, essentially that's what it's all about, right? But like people can't come to my house and shop like you would like at a Kmart or something. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Oh man, my head is so heavy right now. Mm. But she does the toy shows too. Too expensive rent wise. I mean, yeah. Mm. I can't see paying $135 for LGN. I understand, appreciate her work, but it makes no sense anymore. And that's another thing, Corey, right there. $135 for the figures. There's another seller on eBay outside of net on Etsy. Lady Lux on eBay. He is one of probably 2 or 3 sellers that I'm aware of that make actual LJN rubber figures. And most people when they make LJN customs, they make hard resin figures, right? And I actually reached out to him before I reached out to Net about making a blue shirt Hulk Hogan prototype figure, and I think the original quote he gave me was like 120, $130 or something for that figure, and I'll reach out to him first because the hope was that maybe he could quote me a price that was better than anyone else out there. But I'm like, at 120, $130, I mean, basically, you're quoting me the same price that, Round Treasures would have quoted me. So I'm like, with Net, I mean, at least I'm getting that 10% off with her, right? So it's like, it doesn't make sense. So, can you do any better? And not really. So he eventually, he put these figures up on auction eventually, and to see if maybe I could win these figures on auction for a better price. And I kind of screwed up, and I wasn't paying attention. And like a week later, they sold on auction for less than I I think they sold for like $60 or $75 or something. Now he put up like a red shirt Hogan and like a white shirt Hogan, but with his auctions, Nick, his figures, they're made to order. So just because he puts like a red shirt Hulk Hogan up for auction, it doesn't mean he's selling a red shirt Hogan. So like if he's selling a red shirt Hogan, it takes like a week before he ever ships it out because he has to paint the figure up. So like if I want a red shirt Hogan on auction for $75, I could reach out to him. Hey man, I want a blue shirt Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan paints it up for me. Paints up the Hogan. A week later, he ships it out to me. But I wasn't paying attention, and the auction ended before I was able to see it. But his Hulk Hogan's, they sold for like $60, $70, what have you. Series 6 Warlord sells for like 70 or $80. Ultimate Warrior, $70, $80. The point is, these are Series 6 figures. Warlord, Ultimate Warrior. They are not selling for vast quantity of prices. They are custom figures. And I think the market is finally telling sellers that, hey, customs are not valuable. I think Net at Random Treasures is really the only person who's selling figures that are actually selling for something more than it's worth. When she's selling her figures for like $130, she is the only person that's actually making profit on these figures. Because otherwise, if she or these other guys that are selling these on eBay, they're not making money. Generally, these customs are selling for about $60 to $80. Customs are not valuable. So when I look at my custom collection and I think about, hey, I have too many customs. I have over what, like 350 customs on hand. I need a downgrade. I need to sell some of my customs. I've got like 10 Brutus Beefcake or Roddy Piper customs. I need to sell some of these guys. But I pay like $50 for these. I need to sell them just so that I can get some of my money back. But it's not going to happen. Do I think I'm going to sell this Roddy Piper Puma shirt for like $75 that I paid for it or whatever I paid for it? No, it's not going to happen. I'm probably going to get like $25 or $35 for it. So I think a lot of these customizers are realizing, hey, you got great figures, sure, you're doing great work, but your stuff just is not worth what you think it's worth. It's sad. I mean, you take the time to create this rubber, you take the time to paint these figures, but they're just not valuable. They're customs. Nobody wants customs. They want originality. And like I said, that she really has the only figures that are worth money. So when you're saying that, hey, you don't want to pay $135, it's smart. There's a guy, I think his name is Barcombe or something like that on eBay. He's selling a lot of his Ram Treasure figures on eBay, or at least he was. I want a couple of his figures, like the blue singlet Sid Vicious, the red trunks, what was that? Red Trunks Bad News Brown on eBay from him, and I think that might have been it. I may have won more, but I think that was it for now. But I won those figures from him off of eBay. I probably won them for like $75, $80. If I purchased them off of Etsy from Ram Treasures, they would have cost me like $130. So that's the thing. You gotta realize that these are not valuable anymore. So now when I bought like the 3 Roddy Pipers from Ram Treasures, three different variants that she produced. I will buy all three variants because I thought all three were absolutely amazing and I needed all three variants. I gotta tell Net, man, she's got to do carding. If she cards her figures, my God, I would love that. I would buy multiple figures from her. I would buy them carded and loose just for my collection. She at least has one buyer that she knows she would get multiple purchases from. But yeah. Um, let's see what we got here. Lady Luck, yeah. His name's so Nick, his name's Lady Luck something. Let me see if I can find him on YouTube or I'm not YouTube, I'm sorry. On eBay. So saved. I don't know if I have him saved on here, but I'm pretty sure I do. His name is Lady Lux Leather. Lady Lux Leather. Lady Lux Leather on eBay. Nick, he same as Net on Etsy, but if you want like he a lot of the time he has buy it now, but when his figures don't sell, he will move his red shirt, white shirt, Hogan, his Ultimate Warrior figures, or his Warlord. Those seem to be the predominant figures, or his bendies. Ric Flair, Elizabeth, Hulk Hogan, etc. He will move to auction style, and you do have the option to win them on auction, and they will sell for like $60 to $85. So, go ahead and try and bid on save them as a seller, and hey, you might win them for a great price. Say, hey, I referred you. It's not going to give you any percentage off or anything, but maybe he'll give me a thumbs up later on. Let's see. I don't get actual Rubber Legends. I hate these hard plastic ones. Big plastic. With the Matt Cardona Big Rubber guys. So they are rubber, but they're like so freaking hard rubber. They're not like the original LGNs. They are like extremely hard rubber. That's why I say Latuni. Latuni is the closest to the original LJN line. Big Rubber guys, I love the line. I am not going to say I dislike the line. I love the Big Rubber guys like crazy. Highly recommend. Latuni, though, is my line. Latuni is about as close to LJN as possible. The rubber is as. Here's the thing. You could sit there and squish those legs and arms as much as possible, but you can sit there and bend those legs and arms as much as you want. They will not break. With like Ram Treasures as an example, take like Bob Backlund as an example, or Bad News Brown. If you sit there and you like bend the arms back and forth, you notice that the rubber starts to tear. Yes, there is tear in the rubber because it's cheap rubber. Sorry, Nut, but the rubber back with those figures were really horrible. Since then, the rubber has gotten so much better with like Dino Bravo, etc. But Bob Backlund, one of the worst LJNs ever made. Horrible figure. One of my least favorite figures ever. But Latuni, you can sit there, bend those legs and the arms like crazy. Rubber will not break. and it's as close to the original LJNs as close as possible. Absolutely love Latuni. They have some of the best figures ever created. My God. The only downside with Latuni and Ahmad, he is absolutely amazing. One of my favorite businessmen ever. Because you could sit there and you could talk to Ahmad for hours. Unlike other sellers, other business guys, he will literally talk to you about about the action figures. And if you got like complaints or if you have like recommendations, hey, how can I do this better? He will listen to the customers. And that's what I love. That's why I recommend him. That's why I recommend Latuni. And he will sit there, he will make the on the spot corrections before the figures ever hit the market. And I'm like, awesome. Cheers to Ahmad and Latuni. One of the best freaking customer, one of the best freaking lines on the planet, man. Um, let's see what we got here. Cheaper to do the plastic than doing the rubber. Yeah, definitely. So recently through Sin Bodhi, Sin Bodhi is one of the best customizers of LJN figures on the planet. I've talked about him a million times, right? There are a couple customs I'm getting from Sin Bodhi recently. Now he's done my Freddy Krueger LJN. He's also done multiple of my Killer Bees, both with jacket and without jackets. He's also doing my yes. He's doing this right here. He is also doing my Black Card Bret Hart LJN. Yes, my Black Card LJN. Now, Black Card LJN is actually not original, but if you actually look online, LJN Black Card does pop up. But if you look in the history books, there was no existence of an LJN Black Card Bret Hart. However, on the Tuesday show, when I do the prototypes and variants, I do want to incorporate that figure if it does arrive on time, because it does come up in in the catalog, right? So I did buy a resin figure for that purpose because I did purchase it as a resin figure. It was just more cheaper, more affordable. But when I bought I bought rubber because I wanted it to be as perfect as humanly possible. But when you see that, man, oh my God. I got a couple looks, black and white. I recently got the first look with it in color. Hulk Hogan Series 1, Eat Your Heart Out. I should send it to Jason Up, New Age Revolution, be like, hey, tell me this isn't the greatest LJN ever. Otherwise, it would be closer to that $100 price point. Yep. I'm still waiting on my Latuni Figs order. How do I get a hold of Zamboni? Does he have his eBay store too? Does he request make the order? Zamboni, is that Latuni you're talking about? Hey, Corey, you talking about Latuni right here? Zamboni? Then there's a typo. I assume you're talking about Latuni. The guy doing your face. Oh, yeah. Sin Bodhi. Yes. Sin Bodhi. So Nick from Sin Bodhi, he does do special orders. Zamboni. He does do special orders. All I had to do was a couple couple pictures, send it to him, and Zamboni. um, all I did was a couple pictures and send it to him. Let him know what I was looking for. Uh, Fighting poses, what kind of what description I wanted for my figure, and he pretty much got it ready for me. So Tom Veg, he's also one of those guys who does a lot of like head sculpts for LJNs, right? And he was one of those guys that huge in the LJN custom world as far as head sculpts. Back in like 2022, he was one of those guys that was recommended to me for getting like head sculpts and bodies and whatnot, for because I want to do like I want to do like a wrestling figure for my wife, right? And I wanted to do an LJN for my wife, and I wanted to do something special. So I was thinking like, hey, like I would send like a head sculpt for my wife, and maybe like take like the body of like Bailey or something. Like take like an active wrestler. But then this guy was like, "Hey, like send me pictures of your wife, like in bikini shots or something, like front, back, side molds." I'm like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen, buddy. You're going above and beyond. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. I'm like, that's a little bit too much. That's too creepy for me. So no. So no, I got with Simbodi. I'm like, hey man, I want a, I want a wrestling figure myself, but um, how can we make that happen? Just give me a couple headshots, and what kind of fighting pose do you want. Give me a couple of descriptions of what kind of figure you want, whatnot. That's all we need. I'm like, hey, cool. What, no dick pics or not? I'm like, all right, awesome. Nah, man, but seriously, that other guy was freaking like asking too much, man. Like creepy. No, man. I'm not sending you freaking naked photos of my damn wife. What the hell's wrong with you? uh does Sin have a website? I'm pretty sure he does. Get on Facebook, bud. Look up Sin Bodhi. In fact, I could probably send you a message with Sin Bodhi's information. Just go on Facebook and type in Sin Bodhi, SINNBODHI, and Sin Bodhi. I mean, he's all over the place as far as LJN and wrestling customizers and whatnot. He's like one of the most popular, famous freaking customizers of LJN out there. So, I mean, he's all over the place. But if you've seen my YouTube shorts, in reference to like the Freddy Krueger figure, and like I said, the two sets of Killer Bees, both with jackets and without jackets. So those 5 figures, those are resin figures, but those all came from Sin Bodhi. Those are some of his work, and in the next week or so, I should have a shipment from him, which is going to include a carded Bret Hart black card and a me figure, hopefully. And that's going to be part of my the last episode of the LJN Tuesday show, which is going to be the LJN prototypes and variants video. Well, not the me video, but the black card Bret Hart. Bret Hart was not part of the black cards, but I just want to include it as part of a kind of like a reference, just as a part of a fun inclusion. Oh man, I love these freaking live streams, man. They're just so much freaking fun. Man, it's 9:30 already. Wow. I gotta admit, man, when I started with the eBay part of the video, I didn't expect this to go like an hour and a half long. I thought it was gonna be like 30 to 45 minutes long, and I was gonna like tap out, but you guys with the comments, man, you guys made this go a whole lot longer, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in and the comments, man. You made this really fun and enjoyable. But so I'm just wondering, Corey, which little Toonie figs are you waiting for? Because I can reach out to Ahmad and see which one. If you're waiting on something, I can reach out to him and see which. Matty up all night. Andre, yeah, I'm still waiting on the Andre too. I think Andre was originally supposed to be released in May, but I think it's still coming in. It might be coming in June now. Now, Ahmad is a little bit better than obviously some of these other companies. So when he has a schedule for something, it's not like you're waiting like extra months. I don't know if you're subscribed to Latuni on YouTube, but he does have an update on his YouTube account. So, but he does provide updates with the action figures, whatnot. Yeah, I got the Ric Flair as well. And when is Ric Flair coming? I think Ric Flair's coming in the summertime. I'm thinking like July or August for Ric Flair. Yeah, I bought the Ric Flair as well. I think I got a couple of those figures. One of them I'm going to open up. That one is going to be freaking awesome. So I can't wait for that one to come. Hello, wifey.
It's chubby cubby pill time.
Okay. We'll get to it eventually. I'm having a awesome conversation here.
Okay, then.
Thank you. Upscale Macho. Thanks, Stone Cold Man. Yeah, so Macho Man, I think I got 3 of them, or what did I have? 3 or 4, I think I have three Macho Mans right now. So far, I've got the blue Macho Man, I got the silver and black Macho Man, and I think I got the was it Green Trunks Macho Man? Was it Green Trunks? I'm thinking. Oh man, I'm so confused, man. There's just so many Macho Man figures that I can't keep track of all of them, but I have at least three of them carded and 3 of them loose. But yeah, I have at least 3 of them carded and 3 of them, or 2 of them loose. 2 of them as Hasbro style. Oh, Hall of Fame Macho Man. Hall of Fame Macho Man in all gold. That one is going to be freaking awesome. Now, there is actually a Big John stud and Jimmy Snuka version. I think I bought like months and months and months ago that I got as customs. Now I bought them on auction and I got them for like $1. I got them for like $1 on auction, and I won them on auction with like a couple of other figures. So like they weren't like bad pickups, but those figures, along with the Macho Man Hall of Fame collection, I think there's gonna be an all gold Macho Man, and that's gonna be a pickup. That one as well is coming as well. So, yep, that one's gonna be a pre-order, and so Anoki is coming. The all gold Macho Man Hall of Fame is coming. The Andre the Giant plus Andre the Giant with face paint is coming. Ric Flair is coming. Axe is coming. Axe with alternate paint is coming. Oh shoot, the 2-packs. The 2-packs. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about the 2-packs yet. I talk to Ahmad all the time, and he gives me so many updates, but I don't think I'm allowed to talk about the 2-packs. It kills me. Let's just say that Animal and Warlord might be coming in the near future. And let's just say that they're pretty freaking amazing. And let's just say that Latuni is going to be the place to be in the near future. And what Big Rubber Guys is doing is pretty awesome, but Latuni is going to freaking absolutely destroy all of these other companies. Big Rubber Guys, Grapplers and Gimmicks, Zombie Sailors, all of these Hasbro style companies, all of these LJN style companies, all these Remco style companies, even these Galoob style companies, even these tightrope collectibles, amazing. I love what they're coming out with Stud and with Razor Ramon, right, and PN News, right, but even the Galoob style figures. All of these companies are going to become obsolete. Latuni is going to be a one-stop shop. I can't talk about it, but my God, I've seen some stuff, and these guys are freaking amazing. I'll just say it brings a freaking tear to your eye how freaking awesome some of the stuff that's coming is. I am sworn to secrecy, but it's incredible. And no, I am not blowing smoke. It is that good. All right, guys. That is the last time. Whoa. Wow. That's the last of my drink. So, hey, what's up, bud? What's going on, Kirk? Whoa. Give me a second. Oh, I just took one huge shot. Wow. I should have took a little small gulp. One second, guys. All right. I'm back. Ooh. Hey, good night, Corey. No, hey, man. Hey, baby. At this point, bud, man, I think I'm out, man. I think I'm ready to tap out. Yeah, man. Corey, at this point, buddy, I'm about to tap out, buddy. We're at about an hour and 40 minutes, which is a whole lot, which is about an hour longer than I had planned. So at this point, guys, I am ready to sign out, guys. And I'm about to sign out, guys. As always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Seems like there's a whole lot more interest in this video than normal, so it looks like I will come back next week for another video. So definitely be back next week, guys, for another video. Hey, in the comments section, if you want me to start posting videos earlier than 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, let me know. If you want 7 Eastern Standard Time, 6 Eastern Standard Time, let me know. I've been trying to put Eastern Standard Time because I feel like that's late enough in the day that everyone is off work or, off family time that, everyone is available. But if you want me to start making these videos earlier in the day, put in the comments, hey, earlier in the day, and I can start doing so. But if you're good, earlier in the day would be, let me know. But it looks like there was a lot of people that tuned in today, so it looks like next week I will be back for another episode. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you in the comments and see you all in the next episode. Take care, everybody.